Send me your mercy, send me your peace, or I am lost for sure. Oh Lord, here I am, yearning for your...
Months have passed since the body of Njauju, who until his murder was Anti-Corruption Bureau Director of Corporate Affairs, was found behind the presidential villas in Lilongwe. He was shot in the head and stomach. There still seems to be little headway being made by the police in solving the cause of Mr. Njauju's killing, increasing fears among ACB officials that a killer could be roaming around. Adhana prayer, Thursday, July 2, 2015. The day began like all other days for Mr. Njauju. It was a new day in the holy month of Ramadan. Like all other days, prayer was first for him.
Allahu Akbar. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Mr. Njauju had no idea this was his last Fajr, Islam morning prayer. He would not be returning for his Taraweeh, evening Islam prayer. When he drove off past the gates of his Area 49 residence for work that Thursday morning, he was not to enter the gates of his house alive again.
Looking up at the sky, searching for Allah Most High, he rejected the way of worshipping gods of clay.
The last phone call Njauju made was to a friend. He made that call at 4:31 p.m. just before he left his ACB office for his evening prayers. He was to pick a friend he usually was with for evening prayers at Area 9 Mosque. Mr. Njauju is known to have left his office at about 4:40 p.m.
Nothing knew that right will conquer wrong, and the heart of a Muslim must be strong. It's the heart of...
In his telephone conversation with a friend, Mr. Njauju is said to have hinted he would be passing by a shopping center located in City Center. About half an hour later, friends try in vain to get to Mr. Njauju through his phone. Mr. Njauju doesn't show up for evening prayers.
What is in your heart? In a poor, meager state, little food on a plate, mother said she...
Here is where we have reason to believe that by 5 p.m. on the evening of July 2, Mr. Njauju was in the company of the heartless architects of his killing, probably being forced to drive to some discreet destination in Lilongwe City. Mr. Njauju was known to be home by 6 p.m. every evening. The fact that he missed his prayers that evening and that he was suddenly not picking calls was adequate justification for sounding the panic alarm. Phone calls began flying around among family members and friends. Where was Isa? The worst affected and devastated were Awana, Mr. Njauju's wife, who was then at the family farm in Salima, and an 11-year-old daughter who was home.
Because that time we were fasting, and during the morning hours we used to wake up and eat something so that maybe during the day we could fast properly. Then it was around 4 a.m. my daughter called me. Mommy, is Dad in Salima? I told her, no, Daddy told me that he'll be coming here in Salima on Saturday with you. Then he said, no, Daddy didn't come home since yesterday up to now. We don't know where he is. His phones are just ringing. I said, okay, fine. I called a friend. Then I asked him, did you communicate with him yesterday? Did you go with him for prayers? The friend told me that no. I tried to call his number at around 7 p.m. so that we should go for prayers, but the phone went unanswered. Then I said, okay, fine. Then he told me, okay, wait, we should just maybe go and check in the hospitals. Maybe he was involved in an accident. That was the first thing we thought.
Day upon a bus I saw a girl with golden hair, and in my heart I wish that I was just...
Our findings at Zodiac show that at around 8 in the evening of Thursday, July 2, a vehicle was up in flames at Nsiliza, a high-density township in Lilongwe.
Oh Allah, forgive me when I...
The spot is some 400 meters away from the Area 49 main road.
And the world is mine. I stopped to buy some candy, met a boy who had such charm.
This was later to be identified and confirmed as the official ACB vehicle for Mr. Njauju. Claimant eyewitnesses say were surprised nobody complained about the fire.
Like you see, you said I'm blind. Oh Allah, forgive me when I...
Elsewhere, July 2 went by and panic extended into Friday, July 3rd. Mr. Njauju does not report for duties at ACB. The family and ACB decide to report his disappearance at Area 3 police station. The official hunt begins. Our findings show that at this time, fear is fast spreading among staff at the graft-busting body, ACB. An official email is circulated on the development. Later, mobile phone communication companies are involved and confirmation is made that one of Njauju's phone is responding in the city center area. Mr. Njauju's other phone is officially located around Falls Estate area. A futile manhunt is mounted in the two areas and is extended to hospital wards and even the available mortuaries. There is no trace of Mr. Isa Njauju.
From the day of missing up to the day he found dead, we reported the matter to police, and the police, up to now, they are still saying that they are still investigating the matter. Anxiety,
disturbance, fear, assumptions, and presumptions. Is Mr. Njauju alive?
No more.
The search for the man continued on day 3, July 4, Saturday morning. Lilongwe's Area 3 police station reports official receipt of a find of the carcass of a vehicle at Nsiliza Township. It is agreed to be the skeleton of the official ACB vehicle that was assigned to Mr. Isa Njauju. The worst is feared. About half an hour later after the find of the burnt vehicle, some 5 to 10 kilometers away in the opposite direction, a body is discovered, half buried, in a shallow grave behind the presidential villas not far from the main gates of State House. Parts of his body were devoured, possibly by an animal. There were also holes in his head and stomach, clearly inflicted by close-range gunshots. A post-mortem report on this has not even been shown to late Njauju's wife.
I cried. I called Allah's name because of my faith. I asked them for me to believe that Isa is no more. Could you please allow me to go and see his body? They told me, okay, fine. We're going to arrange, because as of now, his body is in the hands of the police. They have not yet handed it to us. If they happen to hand it to us, then I will let you see your husband. I said, okay, fine. I waited. It was around 2, if not 3 o'clock. They called that we should go to Central Hospital. At the mortuary, they told us that the body was not going to come back here home. Then I said, okay, fine. We went there. They allowed me to see him. I said my last prayer for my husband. I begged Allah for forgiveness. I begged Allah to grant him Jannat Firdaus if possible. I made my duas there. Then that's when they took the body to Biwi to the graveyard at Biwi. That's where they kept it.
Oh Allah, forgive me when I whine. I have 2 legs to walk upon, and the world is mine.
The amount of difficulty the police are going through to solve this puzzle and the desperation for tangible and quick results is evident in the fact that a bounty of 1.5 million kwacha was announced weeks into the merciless killing.
The information that are coming up to us, that are coming in to us, are not so much strong to implicate someone that such a person is the one who has committed this murder. But we are still receiving these the tips from well-wishers. According to the inflow of the information that we are receiving, we are very much optimistic that one day we will arrest the culprits.
However, as we look at it, it is increasingly clear that the architects of the killing of Mr. Njauju must have planned their actions with high precision. There's crystal clear evidence of systematic attempt to destroy any traces of evidence. The burning of the vehicle miles away and the fact that the body of Mr. Njauju was found close to where he was last seen alive, the fact that the body was not found in a pool of his own blood, would tempt one to suggest that the ACB Director of Corporate Affairs was shot and killed inside his own vehicle.
Here I am, pleading at your door. Send me your mercy, send me your peace, or I am lost for sure. Oh Lord, here I am.
We were shocked to discover that the shoes, socks and the wristwatch Mr. Njauju was wearing at the time of his killing were left to his wife, Awana. She still has them. We spoke to social commentator Justin Zonzi on investigating such crimes, especially considering that crime scenes and other of Njauju's belongings were seriously tampered with here.
I think if we start at the level of investigations, it is important to understand that investigating connotes taking an inquiry to find out what happened. Now, what happened is usually preserved by the place where the accident took place or where the issue took place. Now, if the scene of the crime has been tampered with, it may not be easy for you to find out exactly what had happened.
The only person police picked closest to the killing was a man who had been found with one of late Njauju's phones. Police have charged Frank John with murder and he is on remand at Maula prison. His trial is yet to start, as his relations claim Frank John is just a poor man who thought selling the phone which he had found in some deserted place was his luck. He sold the phone for 17,000 kwacha, which is less than $30.
On 6 July, he told me that he was going to hunt some mice. And after a short time, he came back, telling me that he had found a cell phone. I told my husband that maybe God had answered our prayers. After some time, the police arrested him on 26 July at his workplace.
A myriad of theories about what could have led to the death of Mr. Njauju have come up, but his wife does not buy any of them. Mr. Njauju was a family man, had no private business issues She says, in the 11 years of their marriage, she never suspected him of cheating on her.
Never. Not my Isa. Never. And I'm not saying this just because he was my husband or else he is no more. But Isa was that kind of a person who even friends, even if you are to ask them, they would tell you, those people who knew Isa, he was never involved in such things. He was a person, God-fearing, faith, satisfied with what he has in his hands. Nothing of that matter. And people, they might say a lot of things concerning him, because when things like this happens, you would find that, as you have said, that there will be a lot of theories that will be said. Yes, but it's my prayer that each and everything that happened that day, each and everything that people might be thinking, one day Allah will answer. One day Allah will bring the truth, will reveal the truth, and each and every one would say, oh, what we were thinking about Isa was wrong. Isa was this type of a person, because I know my husband.
But if it was true that Njauju was having an affair, would the woman with whom he was going out with come out upon his murder?
Depends on the attachment, what kind of attachment was there with the man. But then at the same time, the woman would not be compelled to come out, because one should be, trying to protect her marriage, and two, should be trying to protect her image as well. So in such scenario, it is very difficult for one to just come out straight up that the man that is being killed, or have been going out with this man. It's very rare. Very, very rare.
ACB Deputy Director Reinek Matemba says although Mr. Njauju may not have been directly involved in investigations at the Bureau, it cannot be ruled out that his killing may have had something to do with his employment there.
Job description for the Directorate of Corporate Services, he was not involved in any investigations or prosecution of cases here. But people out there would not make or would not differentiate what type of work somebody does in the Bureau. Very few people out there, unless those people that know us personally or professionally, they would be able to tell that so and so in the Bureau is in this section and the type of work that they do is like this. Some people out there do not differentiate a prosecutor, an investigator, a corruption prevention officer, or public education officer. We are all members of the Bureau. I will not talk much on that one, but for some people, they do not see any difference. As long as you work for the Bureau, you are an officer of the Bureau.
The people of Malawi are still dumbfounded as to what the motive may have been. The incident has successfully sent a message of fear among staff at ACB and the families of those who were close to late Njauju.
We are working and will continue to work for the nation because we have a duty to perform. It's about public service, serving the public. But the fears are still there. Like I said earlier on, we don't know who did it, how they did it, and why they did it. We don't know where they are, whether they're still within the country or outside the country. We don't know whether they still like around. That we don't know. So those fears will still remain as long as these questions remain unresolved.
Here I am, pleading at your door. Send me your mercy, send me your peace, or I am lost for sure.
I'm praying hard day and night, praying, crying to the Almighty that, oh yeah, Allah, please give us the lead. Help us reveal what happened to my husband. What we want is to know is the truth.
No more, no more. And so I was called to the places my Lord, the places my Lord has blessed for all. joining the millions. That day I walked for my eternal salvation I sought, and standing before him with all I had, 2 empty hands and a humbled man, I pledged my very life to him. Oh Lord, here I am. Oh Lord, here I am, pleading at your door. Send me your mercy, send me your peace, or I am lost for sure. Oh Lord, here I am, yearning for your cure. This humble servant will be diverted from you no more.